Hello, and welcome back to another peaceful episode of Porch Podcasts. I am your host, Hugh Malcolm Lackbottom, and I am very excited to announce that we have a special guest here in the studio today on this episode. This man was a very inspirational person in my life, and I'm sure many others. He was a very intelligent Oxford professor and writer of The Hobbit, an award-winning childhood book, and the trilogy Lord of the Rings. My friends, today we have J.R.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Having me.
You are
Thank you.
one of the greatest authors of our time.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I love your movies very much.
Thank you.
Alright, well, let's get started. Everyone, again, J.R.R. Tolkien, author of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and many other poems and other short stories. My first question, obviously, I just want to break into the basics.
Yes.
When and where were you born, J.R.R.?
My birthday is on January 3rd, 1892. I was born in
1892?
in South Africa, actually.
Wow.
Yes.
And we don't know why we were in South Africa, obviously, because you were born there. So I'm guessing you didn't stay in South Africa for very long.
No.
As a child.
My parents passed away.
Your parents passed away.
Yes.
At what age did your parents pass away?
My father died when I was 3, very young. My father died when I was 3, so I was
3 years old?
I was very short, not very, just glimpses of memories of him. But my mother died. She died when I was 13. That was very.
Both of your parents died at a very young age.
Yes, yes. So I was providing for my own self at a very young age for my school supplies. But I always, my parents always told me my education was the most important thing.
Education
But I
was
still
the most
strive for that is what was going to be put me forth in life, that was going to set me above the rest to achieve my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal was to go to Harvard, become an author, do what I do now, and I achieved.
So J.R., before you started writing books, great award-winning books, you served 5 years in the war and you fought in World War I. It's quite...
Indeed, I did. Yes, yes, I did.
Would you like to tell us something about your time in the war?
Of course, the war was awful. It was terrible, terrible. It was so much murder for no reason. You are killing other random people from this other country that you're just told to fight. You kill some young kid from some other country, you don't even know his background, but you're just something you're forced to do. And then at the same time, you just sit around waiting for all of your friends to die as well.
So you're in the war, fought 5 years in the war. Was there anything major that you learned or pulled from that experience? I know it was an awful experience, but was there anything that you learned that you could share?
I certainly learned to value time, certainly really to value the present moment, and just the people that are still around you, the moments that happen, the memories that you've made with the people you love, and the time spent doing such activities. I learned that those little things that add up in life, those is what really counts in the end. Those little memories that really spark in everyone's life, that stay there, that imprint in our mind. I think those are the most special memories of all.
Do you think that your time in the war, because obviously in your works, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, there are many instances of war and battles, fighting death.
Indeed, yes.
So your time in the war definitely had an impact on it.
Well, I would say that it helped me write the story better just because of my natural understanding for the war. I mean, I was in 5 years, but yes, it helped me write it, but there wasn't, I don't think I could have put any of my personal friends like involvement in the story just because too much emotional attachment.
So there's no connection. Excuse you. There's no connection. So there's no connection between characters that you created. I know one character that I actually always imagined myself being, and I always, pictured you possibly having some sort of connection to it. But Gandalf is a very, very, he's very part of the story. He's a huge player in the story. He pretty much guides. I think you should just tell us about it.
Well, Gandalf he's like
Gandalf.
He's almost like an angel figure. He's always got the plan. He's the man with the plan. He's always thinking things through. He like disappears, but then he comes back and he always saves the day. That's what Gandalf does. He always makes things. Oh, excuse me. He's the hero that comes in. Well, for the hobbits always, because he's always got the soft spot for the hobbits, of course.
Not to pull away from
He's
this.
a very integral leadership character in the story, for certain.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I don't know to pull away from that side, but I just wanted to say, let's talk about The Hobbit.
Yes.
Now that we have come across that side of the story. The Hobbit, published in 1937, it was regarded as a children's book. Apparently it was not intended to be a children's book. What was the controversy there? How was that?
Well, really, children could read it if they wanted it. It was really, honestly, the book was for anybody to pick up and read. Anybody who was willing to read it, who could read it, just did not matter to me. Whether they said it was more child-oriented, it doesn't matter. It turned out to be a very popular book in the end.
That's all that matters, right?
Yes.
That's all that matters. That's great. I'm happy there wasn't actual controversy over that. That'd be stupid. One interesting thing, one of the most interesting things about your book is that you drew over 100 drawings for the book. You drew over 100 drawings.
Yes.
So you're an artist as well.
Yes. 100 drawings, quite time-consuming, as you can possibly imagine. Yes. Especially with all that writing in the book.
So, sorry, I totally forgot to ask you. What made you want to start writing The Hobbit?
Oh, The Hobbit.
Any funny story behind it?
Well, it wasn't that very funny story. It was just a little odd how I came about it. I was a professor at Oxford at the time, and I had been grading a student's papers for I don't know why the student's papers had thrown me into this thought, but just the idea of like the Hobbit, just the dwarf, or not dwarf, but just the Hobbit with the idea came to me. I wrote it down, and then I just kind of came back to it later, and it just took off as soon as the idea came in, and it just started flowing. I created this whole fantasy world that I always wanted.
Interesting. So, J.R., would you please give us a brief synopsis of The Hobbit and what The Hobbit is about, and take us on that journey so that the audience knows the context of the conversation?
Yes, of course. Okay. So there is a setting takes place in what is called the Shire. The Shire, a very beautiful grass-filled plain of green hills, a very peaceful place. It is in Middle Earth. Middle Earth is currently in peace, but there is in this Shire is where this character we all fell in love with, main character Bilbo Baggins. It's just the courageous little hobbit that goes on his journey of just to find like self-courage, and it's the sort of adventure that he had as a child to relive.
Oh, so it's more than just, like a little fairy tale about fighting, dragons.
It's very real. People die. This is definitely the realist fantasy that you can have.
So would you say that you took a lot of your experiences in your life while it was the death of your parents, and now there's a character in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, which I'm pretty familiar with, Frodo Baggins, his parents both died at a very young age as well. Is that somehow linked together? Did you create almost reincarnate yourself into Lord of the Rings to take yourself?
Well, I could say that I could relate to Frodo's characters in a lot of ways, yes, and that definitely being one of them.
Yes.
So, whether or not that I would have still put that into the character, I do not know. Whether it influenced that decision, I can't tell. Mm-hmm. But there is a good chance, I can say.
Yes. Well, one of the most fascinating things that I find about The Hobbit is that, in all of your works in general, is that there's so many different aspects of it's almost every single genre. It contains romance, contains death, it contains war, badass battle scenes, orcs, fighting elves, bows and arrows, spells. It contains everything. It's like an entire life force in a way. So that's something that I find very unique about all of your work. And
thank you.
I don't know. Makes me very happy.
Thank you.
You're here. So
I really appreciate you having me.
oh yes, of course. Yes.
Thank you
It
very
was a
much.
pleasure. Thank you for your time. It's been quite the experience, quite the journey.
Yes, an unexpected journey.
Yes, the unexpected journey. Thank you for joining us here on another peaceful episode of Porch Podcasts. I'm your host, Malcolm Hugh Lackbottom. Our guest, J.R.R. Tolkien. It was a pleasure. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Hit it!
We'll have Benjamin take us away. Yay.
Some other country you don't even know his background, but you're just something you're forced to do, and then at the same time you just sit around waiting for all of your friends to die as well.
God, this is so fucking dark. Alright, this is so fucking dark. Dude.